Hello, my friends. How are you doing? I'm hoping you had a wonderful Monday. Um, because my roommate tested positive for COVID, I had to stay home because my boss was um, going into surgery today, and I didn't want to risk possibly getting her sick. So I just stayed home and relaxed. I think today I want to talk to you about your personal finances. And actually, let's go back in time to the early days of the church when the United Order was set up. Did you know there was requirements to get in? Did you know that one of them was to be debt free? And it makes sense because we're told to have our houses in order. And that means having the debt eliminated. And we see in the scriptures in several places where people are prepared. They have abundance. Does this mean they were debt free? I would like to think so. I want to tell you about a guy that one of my roommates was talking to online. This guy had, 12 credit cards, and he was just getting his 13th one. And all of them are maxed out, and he sees nothing wrong with it. He is completely into debt to the point where he cannot afford to fill up gas in his vehicle. And it's crazy to think that there are people out there with that much debt. But this is a common mindset, primarily, I would say, in America, United States. I think it's starting to become prevalent all over the world where credit cards are starting to be accepted. I know there was a video, I watched it some time ago, and these Chinese couple are wanting to get married, and over there you have to have a house, you have to have also this stuff, and the parents were wanting to know where he went to college, and he showed us the college degree and then what kind of car, and he holds out this, I think it was either a Beamer or a Lexus key fob. And next they wanted to know about house, and that's an important one in Chinese culture. From modern Chinese culture, from what I can see, is you have to have a home. And then the next thing was something about credit cards. But then the young man coughs, holding it up his wallet, and come down a line. I'm not kidding you, that must have been like that long of credit cards. And I remember talking to Master Lu and Master Tai several times, Master Lou was a master saver. He hated debt. In fact, Master Ty had told me many times that at one point the credit card was rarely used, and that the only time they were, and when they did use it, it was paid off right away. There was no waiting for it. There was no delay. And now it's starting to get to the point where being in debt is a normal event. And it's sad. And it's important for Latter-day Saints not to be in debt. I mean, we hear it constantly from our general authorities to avoid debt when necessary. Now, there are some debts that are okay. And I know people who are diehard Dave Ramsey people will say, no, there's no such thing. Well, yes, there is. Even Dave Ramsey himself will say that a home is acceptable debt. And having studied as a financial coach and having listened to many people talk about how not having a credit score has hurt their chances of getting into a home. And this is something I actually took prayerfully and realized that it's getting to the point where a credit score is becoming a necessary evil. And it's actually quite sad. Do I believe in a credit score? Do I have a good credit score? No, I don't have a good credit score. I won't tell you my credit score just because I'm embarrassed by it. But our goal as Christians, as saints, is to be debt-free. There are several ways you can do this. The two that are the most accepted is the avalanche effect, and then the snowball effect. The avalanche is where you take the highest interest rate and you pay that, and you pay that until you get each one out of debt, and then you move on to the next one. That one scientifically has been shown to be more stressful and is easier to give up on because you're not seeing much improvement. The second that I like is, snowball effect. This one has been shown psychologically to be the easier of the two. And how it works is you list all your debts from highest to lowest. And if it is possible with the lowest debt, you pay the minimum. And if any others, unless it's a secured loan like automotive, home, student loan, you can actually pay below the minimum on that. And they can't really do anything because they're getting money. And then once you're done with the lowest, you take the money that you were applying to that debt and you move it to the next. And because you're ignoring the interest rates, your budget will change. Some may go higher, some may go, but the focus is get those quick wins in. That way it feels better. Focus on getting out of debt. That's what I tell people. Also, build an emergency fund. This is extremely important. And I'd actually recommend doing this before any other step. Now, Dave Ramsey recommends people do a minimum $1,000, but I have seen many people that cannot do that $1,000 because, or they do the $1,000 and an emergency comes up and that $1,000 doesn't cover it. So my suggestion, find out what your monthly bills are. This is minus your any debts like credit cards, bank, automotive, home. Ignore those. This is just to keep a roof over your head, a bean in your belly, and an active phone. Because nowadays, that is something that is needed very much. Do those. Get those basics. Also, if you're a tithe-paying Christian, that's a must. And I recommend to people to do it first before any other bills. Well, there's one bill that I mentioned that you should also include in that, and that is mortgage. Mortgage and car payment, I guess, would be acceptable as well, because those are going those aren't short terms, those are long terms. Include those in your 1 month emergency fund. Now you calculate it, and like with mine, I think I'm like a little over $1,000 for a month. I don't know. I'd have to look at my budget. I haven't looked at it in a while, but make 1 month your goal. Now, for that emergency fund, you need to have it as quick of access as possible. Some have recommended to have just a separate savings account. Some have suggested to have a money market account. And I suggest, this is going to be me personally, is have it at your home. That way, that's the quickest you can get to it. And cash is still a very acceptable payment, except for in certain cities and certain businesses. But if you can, build up that emergency fund to 1 month and then start tackling your debt. Being debt-free is an important thing in the gospel. So I'm going to go. My eyes have been bothering me half the day. Hopefully I'm well enough to go to work tomorrow. Keep my fingers crossed. I love you guys. I'll pray for you. If you've noticed, this episode is the only episode. There was no 9 a.m. today. It will be like that until November 1st, All Saints Day. And then I will be doing 2 videos. My regular journal entry, which is now, and then my gospel study, which will be Hebrews chapters 1 through 6 for starting on the 1st, which I do believe is a Tuesday or Wednesday. So 1 week from today. So you guys only have to tolerate 1 episode per day right now. So you guys have a great Tuesday, and we will see you tomorrow. You guys take care. Remember, I love you, and I will continue to pray for you and hope for the best of you. Okay, so I'm going to be fine with this again. I think this is dying. I think I had that problem a while back. Yep, so I'll do it this way. Have a great day.